So as we're going to start working on this model view controller pattern, we're going to have to work on all three components at the same time, but we have to start with one of them. And there will always be people who like to begin by the end, and usually I kind of like to start with the view, which is more as to what the view is going to be look like in the end, and what it's and how it's going to work, and how it's going to behave. So I like to mock up the view first. There I'm just starting off a fresh new UI 2D project with Unity, and have just added a simple canvas here, a canvas 2D. So what we're going to do here is start mocking up the view, and then we're going to start working on the model right after. So what I'm going to do here is come in the create panel, and I'm going to go into the UI and ask to create a new canvas. I'm creating two canvases because the canvas I already have is a canvas 2D, and it's a screen space overlay, and the one I want to handle now is going to be a canvas 3D. So, and I'm actually going to rename it canvas 3D like this. And now what I want to do here is then say I want to take it from screen space overlay to screen space camera, so that I can handle 3D projection. And there I'm just going to use the main camera here, and I'm going to keep the plane distance and every other settings to their defaults. I'm actually just going to say that I want to scale with the screen size, and I'm going to give a reference resolution of 1080 by 720 for a 720p resolution. And I'm also going to set that I want to match the height here, and that I want to give a reference pixels per unit of 128 pixels, like this. Now that I've got this, I'm going to import a couple of sprites, and so I'm just going to go and import the custom Unity package that you will find along with this training. And there, this is going to give me the set of inputs, and also a trigger zone that we're going to set up and put together. So there we go. We've got those sprites here, the down, left, right, up arrows, and also a trigger zone, which is just a plain square, but it's got settings here, as we can see in the sprite editor, so that we've got a margin and a border, so that we can create a hollow square. From there, what I want to do here is then start mocking up a view. So I'm going to say that I'm going to reset the zoom to this new canvas here, and what I want for now, I'm just going to get the scene view a little bigger, and from there what I'm going to create is what is going to be our track view. So I'm going to make a mock-up of a track view, and so for this I'm going to go in here and simply say that I want to create a panel, and I'm going to get rid of the background source image here like this, and I'm just going to give it like a default background. I'm going to make it fully opaque and give it like a gray background like this, so that we get to see it. And now I'm going to set its alignment. So first I'm going to rename this to track view like this, and I'm going to change this so that it's aligned at the very bottom like this. And I'm going to give it a width of 320 like this. So this is going to be the representation of the track. And now that I've got this, I'm going to start adding some subview elements, like we saw that we want to have every beat represented as a sub element. So what I can do actually is simply duplicate this element here, and then I'm going to call it beat view like this, and I'm going to parent it to the track view like that, and I'm going to reset its position and reset its scale like this. For some reason the scale is changed, and I'm going to change its height. So I'm going to give it like a height of 40, and this is all going to be customizable later, but for now I'm just going to set it in here. And so what I've got here is a sub view in here, and what I'm going to do here is to add on the track view. I'm going to add another component, which is a vertical layout group. And so what it does is that it will automatically lay out all the children of this object. So now I'm going to take this object here, and I'm going to give it like a different color like that. So I'm going to make it blue. And now what we can see here is that if I duplicate this object a couple of times, then it will automatically lay out those objects in there. Now we can see that this component will automatically distribute those objects along its height. So I'm also going to add another component here, which is a content size fitter. And the content size fitter allows me to say that I want to fit the size of this object based on the content of this object, so based on the children of this object. And there I'm going to say that vertically I want it to be the minimum size. And so what you can see here is that now all the objects are going to be taken back together, as this object is now the height of all the objects together. And I still have access to the spacing here, so if I wanted to space them like with 20 pixels each like this, then I could do it like that. So this is a very fairly handy to do it this way. And this allows me to then simply take this track here, and then I'm simply going to have this track scroll down as we go through the game. So what we're going to do is that at the very beginning of the game, we're going to initialize the view with all the information that we get from the track, and we're going to fill this up with all the different information is up, down, left, right, and then we're simply going to make it move down like this. Now what I'm also going to do here is then say that I want this to control the child size, and I want it to control the width, but I don't want it to control the height. I just want it to control the width. And so what we're also going to do here now is then say that we want to change the beat views a little bit, so that we have a representation of the left, right, up, down inputs. And so to do this, I'm simply going to add, or actually I could just duplicate this and then parent it. And then I'm going to set this to fully take all its parent transform like this. And now I'm going to replace the source image. I'm also going to reset the scale like this. And there I'm going to change this to using the left arrow. And I'm also going to say that I want it to preserve the aspect, and I want it to also be white, otherwise it's blue against blue and it's not very much seeable. And so I've got this now. This is going to be my down, this is going to be my left input view, and so I'm going to rename this to left, and I'm going to rename this to left arrow like this. And I'm going to get rid of all this. And now that I've got this, I'm going to duplicate this a few times. And all I've got to do now is then say, take this one, and I'm going to say right, up, and down. And so as you would expect, I'm going to rename this to right arrow, and up arrow, and down arrow like this. And I'm going to replace the source image to use the down sprite and up sprite like this, and right, like that. So now I've got all these objects that I will be able to use later, and I'm simply going to just change. Can realize that got to reset the scale again for all the other objects, so you may want to make sure that you don't end up with those values like this. And now I'm going to say that I want to have different colors for the left, right, up and down. So basically I'm just going to take arbitrary colors that match the colors of the PlayStation 4 controller. So I'm going to set that the left is going to be somehow pink, and the down is blue, the right is red, like this, and the up is going to be green, like that. But you can actually just choose any color that you want. In a further video we'll see how we can actually take advantage of multi-platform inputs and have different sets of sprites for the PlayStation, the Xbox, the PC, and other versions. So this is pretty much all I wanted, but I also want to be able to tilt the screen so that we've got some perspective, as we could see in the original mock-up. We don't want this to be a very 2D, very much 2D game. We want it to be more kind of a 3D game. And so to do this, I'm actually going to go again in here, and I'm going to add a new panel like this to the track view, and I'm going to call it tilt view. And so the tilt view is going to remain at the root of the canvas 3D like this, and I'm simply going to parent the track view to the tilt view like that. And now with the tilt view, what I'm going to do here is then say that I want a little bit of an offset from the bottom, like 100 pixels, and maybe same thing at the top, like 50 pixels or so. And now what I want to make sure is that I will put the pivot at the very base, and so I'm simply going to set the pivot to 0 like this, and I'm probably going to have to reset this now to 50 and 100 like this. And what this allows me to do then is to rotate the screen here like this, and to tilt the view. So I'm going to use an arbitrary value of 60. And so what that allows me to do now is then to change the position of the track view, and as you can see then the track view is going to move in a 3D space, and this is what I wanted. And so yet again I can now just duplicate this a few times, and I'm going to get the effect that I wanted to have. So let me just undo this, and that's it. So in the next video we're going to be preparing the prefabs that we can use to instantiate later, and we're also going to start working on the model script.